But let's talk about this now. It's fair to say that for lots of people, 2020 was a very difficult year. Maybe particularly for Abigail Parker. You might remember her. She moved to Dorset for a new job that disappeared at the start of the pandemic. And then she lost everything in a house fire. Things are looking up now, though. She'll soon have a permanent home. She's also been helping to produce a leaflet full of information that she wishes that she'd been given. I'm pleased to say that she joins me to discuss all this on the line now. Morning, Abigail.
Hi there. Good day to you.
Good day. It's fair to say I think that you had a fight to get help. You went to court more than once. Do you want to talk me through some of that stuff?
There was just one court case, and that was for universal credit because they were deducting £100 a month from my tiny amount of money that I was receiving from the month of the fire. So I had to have that overturned. Well, there's two internal appeal processes that you go through first. They upheld their decision for that. So I then go to an external tribunal. It's called a tier 1 judge. And he was shocked by what they'd done and immediately overturned it. And apparently this never happens. It's the exception rather than the rule that I won the court case.
Right.
So that's positive, and I want other people to be encouraged by that and fight back if they give you bad decisions.
Yeah, and when you were sort of trying to work your way through all this, where were you going for advice? How did you kind of garner all this information?
My main resource has been Citizens Advice, who are amazing, and I can't sing their praises enough. And, they are not part of the government. They're, independently funded. So they need help as well with donations. So, again, encourage people to do that. But they've given me all the information. The last bit I was on my own because they said normally people don't win the cases. But I carried on anyway because obviously I'd lost everything. So at that point, I was quite angry. So I was like, I'm going to challenge this because it's not fair and it's not just. So, yeah, good result for me on that one.
Yeah. And I think you'd be forgiven for having gone through all that, wanting to, forget, focus on your own struggles, continuing struggles. We'll come to those in a moment. But you wanted to turn all that experience into a positive?
Yeah, absolutely that. There's been so much horror in the last couple of years, like one awful thing after another, that something good has to come out of this, which is why I'm producing this leaflet, which is being funded by the local branch of the Labour Party, which is amazing. So they're really trying to do stuff on a local level, which is a mini directory will list all the things that people need to get them started, to signpost them and get them help and accesses to resources. That again, it's difficult to find it. So having it in one place, I'm hoping will assist others in a similar situation to that which I've been in.
Yeah. Well, what is your situation now? As I say, you had this horrible 2020. We spoke about your battles with Universal Credit a month or so ago, but you're about to actually receive something a bit more positive.
Yeah, all being well. It hasn't been fully confirmed yet, but it looks like there's a property available in Swanage, so I can stay here and then really start, getting back to basics and build my life up again, which you can't do when you're in limbo, and I've been in limbo all year, basically. So good moves forward, hopefully.
Yeah. How do you stay positive in amongst all this?
Because I really believe in the power of the human spirit and that we can overcome massive hurdles. And it's when you're tested like this, you really find out how strong you are. And the main thing is isolation is the most difficult thing. So I would encourage people on that front as well. If you've got a neighbour or a friend or a family member, go and talk to them and ask them how they are, because having a bit of interaction with people socially really gives you a boost. And that's helped me and kept me positive. And, you realise there's really good people out there. It's not such a dark world as we think. It's full of goodness too.
Is that something that's quite challenging? Like this horrible situation that you're in where you lost your job and lost your home and you found yourself basically with nothing. And so you've got this experience into both ends of, having, I'd say, plenty and having basically nothing. But when you're in poverty, are you all of a sudden isolated because you can't do so many of the things that people take for granted, like go out for a coffee, go out for a beer, those sorts of things?
Yeah, exactly that. You're very limited in what you can do. And when you're having to fight the system on top of that, like, as I said last time, when you've paid into it your whole life, you do kind of have this mindset that it's going to be there to support you, especially with something so extreme and severe. So when that doesn't happen, you're forced to rely on, people at a local level. And that's what builds you back up again, because there are amazing people here in Dorset and all around the country. So that's been the biggest highlight for me, is connecting to people again.
It's nice to hear. Abigail, if people want to get their hands on these leaflets, do you know yet where they'll be?
We'll be delivering them locally. We'll probably issue some of it through Citizens Advice as well. So I would go to them, or the local branch Labour Party will probably have piles of them. So that's to be confirmed. So I can come back to you and let you know once that's produced, which should be mid-December, hopefully.
Sure. All right. Really nice to talk to you this morning. Good luck with it all. That's Abigail Parker from Swanage, live with us on BBC Radio. So